Hello, good evening. It is the Club Call Live. We have been doing a special interview.
Yeah, we've been doing something special
with somebody. So that's why we're a little bit late.
That was part of the reason why we're late. The other reason is our eyes are like recovering because we've had to stare at Ned's trainees.
Ned's got the brightest trainees on in the world. Ned could land planes in the dark with them trainees. I'm not asked about where the sun don't shine. My trainees, your trainees shine. It's on TV. It doesn't shine in here at the sun, so it's quite. So they can stay with the art then, really. Yeah. Following your logic. But we were doing a special
we were doing something. More to be revealed.
It is. It isn't with Sean Dighton. It isn't with Damari Gray. So just get that out there right now. No Kevin Thelwell, no Farhad Moshiri. Just it's out there.
Someone more important.
Absolutely.
More important in the world.
In the Everton world and other worlds, as you will find out. Multi-talented.
But I've said it many times. That the person we just spoke to, or you just spoke to, in the world of Kevin Bacon, he is friends with somebody who is in Grand Theft Auto 5. I'm just going to put that out there.
You have said it.
Said this many times.
Said it.
6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
6 degrees of Grand Theft Auto.
Who is I'm not going to say any more.
No.
But that's the bet. How can it get any better? How can it get any better? That's peak. It is peak.
I mean, it's good. I don't know if it's peak. But it's good.
The only person I would be happy with who's near that is John Utaka.
John Utaka on Pez, yeah.
On Pez.
Then fine. Fair play, obviously. Did he play for Portsmouth as well, didn't he? Harry Redknapp signed
only a few.
Do you reckon Harry Redknapp signed him for Portsmouth just because of ISS Pro?
I hope so.
That would be a good one.
I hope so. Fair signing.
That would be
John Utaka.
I think Everton signed, because when I was at Everton, we were having this. I think Everton signed Ibrahima Bakayoko based on Football Manager. Championship manager at the time when we signed him.
Just looking at the comments,
I'm almost certain.
The Blues has made a great point. Chris Eubank.
Yeah. Well, that was me yesterday.
No, I know.
Chris Eubank one, but yeah, well, there you go. I mean, it was Ned yesterday. It just followed on. So I called him Chris Eubank because he had someone else's shoes on yesterday, and it was tremendous.
Chris Eubank,
but it was
just on it. They're your brother-in-law's shoes. So yesterday you had Cam's
Joe
shoes
Murphy says, show the trainees off.
Ned, throw your trainee. Go on, throw your trainees off. Throw your trainee off.
It will blind. You know, if you had like blinding lights, that's what that would have been.
Yeah. They are tremendous. They are the whitest.
I've said things about men who wear white trainers in public before, and I'm wearing white trainers.
So why are you owning up to that?
I now like white trainers. But I never used to.
So what have you said about men in white trainees in public before? That you don't like them?
And I used to also, like when I used to go everywhere in jeans, skinny jeans, I'd say things about men who wear track.
Why though?
Why?
I don't know.
Why
are you so judgmental?
Why would you have an opinion on that?
Young man.
I know, but
just a young opinionated man.
Just don't have opinions on that. Let people be.
Influenced by rock and roll.
You were influenced by rock and roll.
Okay. Michael Kearney said, "Who's just the goalie top?"
I mean, if you don't know whose goalie top that is, then you need to sort your head out.
He might be a young lad.
It's a red Everton top. Who else is it going to be? Sort your life out. Come on,
Gerrard. Stop it. It was Neville Southall, 1985. European Cup Winners' Cup final. Absolutely.
Romelu Lukaku shoe over there.
That's a good one. Not quite Chris Eubank, but Romelu Lukaku.
But it's more relevant.
I like that.
It's more relevant. If you can come up with your
shoes, though,
shoe names,
Chris Eubank.
To be fair, that's much better. Again, we go back to Ned's chocolate 11 last week.
Ned's sister goes, I am
Dairy Lee Carsley. Dairy Lee Carsley? Yeah. I mean, how is that a chocolate?
That was fit.
I never said
Ned
that.
got a name.
I never said that.
A chocolate 11.
Dairy Lee Molyneux.
No, he went Dairy Lee Molyneux.
You don't think anyone knows who Lee Molyneux is? Well, apart from me, he's a great fitness guy.
And he's a fitness fella, so I think a few people know who he is, but he certainly isn't chocolate when it was Dairy Lee, which is very much not chocolate.
Ned, if you've been doing your cheese 11, that would have been
cheese 11. It would have fitted in brilliantly.
Absolutely. First name on the cheese sheet would
Paul Cheddarad.
Dwight Parmesan.
That doesn't work. We done this last week. It doesn't work. You can't have Mac Parmesan.
You can't just add a cheese to somebody's name.
White bit cheesy garlic bread.
You're rubbish at this game and you chose it.
Oh my God.
Honestly.
White
God.
cheese meal.
Harry Bourne said Kevin Schudy. That's not bad either. Kevin Schudy. Lukaku. Tremendous. Absolutely tremendous. There's some good ones.
I feel like Ned's been to a shoe bank though. That's where it
come from.
I've
That's where
got my
the
own
Chris
shoes
Eubank
as
come
well.
from. What was this?
I got my own shoes as
So
well.
why don't you wear them?
Because I come in here and you go, what do you feel like double deckers? I opened my wardrobe today.
Leckers.
I've never worn these in my life, but I opened my wardrobe and the last pair of shoes I've not worn. So I go, it's got to be these ones then. Put them on.
Your dad's in the comments and he's put emojis in. And he's put, as our Ned started playing tennis. Big Steve.
Your dad was
He
fuming
doesn't
'cause
mind,
I robbed
he's
his
showing
face.
you.
Is your dad aware that you once stole his shoes and wore them to the studio
I went
as
home
well?
and he went, they're too big for you them. I went, oh, they're nice though.
Have you got like a shoe fetish?
He has, I think.
I just don't really like my own shoes. Do you know why? It's because when I need shoes, it's
Yeah.
always the wrong time, and I always cheap out on them and end up buying shoes I don't like.
But what you, like,
Except for my ons.
there's nothing on with your ons, so why have you stopped wearing your ons?
Stay away from my shoes.
Right? Why have you stopped wearing your ons?
Because I said they look like
No, they
floats.
need to go in the washer.
They need to go in the washer.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I've got specific soles for them. That
Okay.
because I've got collapsing arches.
Ah, okay, yeah.
They need
That's
to be
fine.
put in a
That's fine.
washer.
So
I'm not
I
doing
was
it
just
yet.
Go and
say what?
have a look at some shoes that you like.
band in the
Bad.
90s, Collapsing Arches.
Collapsing
Yeah,
arches.
great band.
They were up
Great
there,
band.
yeah.
When I go out, I want to do my gigs. I've got these blacked out gazelles and they're lovely, but I don't want to ruin them by just wearing them.
No, don't wear them in here because I'll ruin them. Never mind, you ruin them.
You ruin my trainers. I'll ruin you.
I love it, Ned. I love the fight.
Dan Schumer, Alex Gray said that's a good one.
Dan Schumer.
That's a good one, Dan
It's
Schumer.
not cheese oriented though. Not cheese, but I want cheese-based stuff.
Now you want
I want cheese
the
stuff.
cheese 11. There's your challenge,
gotta
the
taste the
cheese
cheese.
11, and we start you off. There you go.
Martin's put forever in shoe jeans.
That's a cracker. Cole Parmesan. Ryan Anderson's gone.
As you can tell, I think football's the last thing on our agenda tonight. It's too hot.
What
to get
about
angry.
Carla? Shusef Chimiti. That's good. That is good. I love it, Carla. I love that. Absolutely tremendous. Credit to Dave for Alex's one from before, but that is
Don't forget it is the
absolutely
club call if
brilliant.
you do want to give us a call and get angry.
What
something.
about Secret Game has gone for Kevin Cheesedy?
Nah, it's too easy, that.
Okay.
That's too easy.
No, but he's had a go, hasn't he? Jay says, what's his name? His stage name? Ned Shoerong.
Ned's dad's just put, let me know if he turns up in his mum's high heels. But if he does,
With an
Steve,
emoji.
that's fine.
That's fine, Steve, if he chooses to wear it.
The modern age, we're a very progressive channel. If he wants
That's
to turn
fine.
up,
That is fine.
Suzzy's like, I won't have that, but
Basic Six says a cracking player in collapsing archer.
what about Peter Stilton?
That is brilliant. Peter Stilton is
I
brilliant.
bet you he can't jump either.
And Andres Cheddar.
No. What about Yak? Hang on, Graham Roger, Yakublu. That's good. That's good. The Toffee plays Seamus Heelman.
Ben Cheddar at Monaco.
Ben Cheddar, yeah.
Oh, it's better than mine.
Glenn Watson, John Brebrel instead of John Ebrel. John Brebrel. Yeah.
This has been an incredible start. Goo the guy.
Nerden has gone for Idame Traore.
Yeah.
Dave's gone for Seamus Coleman. Still with the shoe. Ben Cheddar, yeah, it's a good one. 051. Billy, get them off. Billy, you get them off. Stephen Cheddar says Secret Gamer. Peter Brigri. That's good. Peter Brigri. I like it. Ryan sticking with the shoe theme. Nigel Doc Martens.
It's clever.
All right.
clever.
Some clever ones here.
Clever.
Dan Schumer was good. Edam Hazard.
Edam
That's
Hazard,
a good.
that's a good one.
Although
That's a good one.
Sir Alkins put Edam, but Edam Hazard is good.
That's a good one.
There's some crackers there. Hugh Van Nistelrooy. David Gin Gorgonzola. You've done a bit of a net there.
Yeah.
But Marcus Babel is a good one.
Edam Tal.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's
Danny.
Wensleydale Schneider.
Yeah, I'll have that. Peter Breed.
Ooh, that's a bit Wensleydale, grommet.
Colin Babybell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fair play.
Yeah.
Is a Baby Bell, though, is that a type of cheese or that's just the name of the company?
It's a company.
Dairy Lee type, nice.
type,
I mean, you've mixed a lot of genres in there. You've gone back to the chocolate theme.
Chocolate
Happy
cheese. Chocolate cheese he's put in there, haven't you? Dairy Lee tie.
There you go. Ruben Lofton.
It does.
Gianfranco Gorgonzola.
Yeah, I mean, again, another cracker. Another cracker. Sticking with the shoes, Jose Marine shoe.
What a start to the show.
Look at me.
Toffee plays Brita Couch. Brita Couch. And
You're up.
Mendoza Vancouver's gone for Joe Air Max Moore for the shoes.
I can't keep up.
No, there's a lot of them
Is there
here.
any football to talk about?
Brett Ormerod. Remember him, Brett Ormerod? Tremendous. So many years.
I'll be honest, I feel left out in this. I just don't know enough cheeses. I think the more...
What about this chocolate one?
Go on.
Galaxy Bobby. That's good. That's good. Neville Shewell, Mario Mascarpone. There's a lot of you, isn't there? Are you going?
See you later,
mate. Take it easy. Ta-ra,
Take it easy.
mate.
Good luck tomorrow, mate.
Yeah, all the best tomorrow.
Stop, man. Press the
Yeah,
green
all
button
right.
on the way out, don't forget.
I will play in Manchester.
Have a good one. Take care, mate. Ta-ra.
See
Ta-ra,
you
mate.
later.
If I have, I'll just come back.
Yeah, no worries.
Nice.
Ta-ra, mate.
Sean Goat.
Yeah.
Have we got any football to talk about?
I don't know. Grey Exit Imminent is
Imminent.
the name.
That is the title.
Is the
Ned
title.
Buck.
So
But
what are you going with that? He was always happening, wasn't
Yeah, I mean...
he? Mikel Archeda.
Tremendous. I like a running theme through a show.
Yeah.
Feta Czech.
Classic one.
Yeah, the great thing is, it's slightly wound me up, and not massively wound me up, but I just think it's a bit stupid because
He's back. He forgot something.
there they are.
Take it
See you later.
Ta-ra.
I think the whole thing has annoyed me in a way, just because when he was away in international duty and we came back for pre-season, there was talk that he was leaving. There was talk that Everton would be moving on, and then he came back, and it was the narrative was Everton will sell him if they get a replacement. So he was supposed to go to Fulham. He never went. They moved on, obviously, to Traore.
Yeah.
There was other teams that looked interested. I think it's right that he was training, I think, with Mason Holgate or whatever, another group he was training. So I don't know the ins and outs of that, but he was training, but he wasn't obviously training with the main group. And obviously, as we said loads of times, he was set to leave, and it seemed like it was mutual. Obviously, the stuff about Saudi Arabia came up. It seemed like it was a mutual thing. And as the days got closer, Everton didn't look like they were getting a replacement. Obviously, again, I don't know the ins and outs of all of it, but then he's come out because the window's shut. Everton haven't got a replacement, and he's put what he's put. Now, that's up to him. That's up to him. Footballers now are using social media a lot more. We've seen that over the last couple of days. They're starting to put their side of the things out.
Yeah.
The manager's done an interview. Listen, it's a good interview. It's a good interview. He's very honest. He speaks his mind, and he's put that out there. But in the interview, he says he's not going anywhere. 24 hours later, it looks very much like he's going somewhere. The money's being trousered. We haven't got a replacement, and I just think it's been badly handled. Not by the manager, by the way, but it's been badly handled because the initial point was he wasn't going anywhere till we got a replacement. Now we haven't got a replacement, and he's going, and the money will disappear. Now again, if Everton need that money to survive, that's fine. I'm not sitting here
the way it is,
bemoaning that. That's the way the club is. When I'm not stupid, none of us are stupid. We know that'll go into funding the club. But I just find the way it's played out weird, because I just think that with it being within the window, we've basically lost control of it, the situation, because he wants to go, then the relationship between him and the manager is clearly broken down.
Yeah.
So what option is there other than to sell him? Now, maybe if we'd sold him a couple of weeks ago, we could have got more money for him, maybe 13, 14 million for him. Now it looks like we're getting 8. Because really, we have no bargaining power. We have absolutely no bargaining power. The lad has basically been told he's got no future. And another reason for this, by the way, is he was stripped of a squad number. Everyone knows Jack Harrison was given the number 11 shirt. In other words, that he was leaving the club. So I just think the way it's played out is being stupid, really, really stupid. And one thing I would do if he leaves, and I don't know whether people agree with this. Maybe they do, maybe don't. I'd probably go and give Andros Townsend a ring and see if he wants to come in for a year. I would honestly, Baz. I'd give him a ring and say, "Do you fancy a year?" Because we know him. We've had him. We know he had a knee injury, but just to cover bases, I'd probably just give him a year. And long as it wasn't on mad terms, and what could he ask for, considering he's currently got no team? And I'd probably just give him a year and just as to be a backup player. Listen, I doubt it would happen, but I just find the whole thing. Yeah, but we're leaving ourselves short, aren't we? That's the main issue. We're leaving ourselves short. So for me, I'd maybe him, or maybe listen, if there's another free agent out there, then maybe go and speak to them. But for me, I would
Tanguy Koulibaly.
Yeah, I'm fine. Listen, if that's...
Got him. 22 years of age, free transfer. Yeah, you can ask, why is he a free transfer at that age? Absolutely right, but he is. His contract's expired. I know, someone like that. Because they need somebody to be able to come in just to bolster the squad. Now, if you're getting someone like them... Yeah, Townsend was here. And obviously hasn't been able to prove his fitness, or Everton have just felt whatever contract he was on, they couldn't give him another one.
Yeah.
And he went off to Burnley on trial, and he played a few games for Burnley, and they didn't give him a contract either. So, talking about just having someone for a season who can be a squad player and just fill in as and when with experience, and he's a hard worker, Andros Townsend, isn't he?
And he plays down the right. Listen, I'm not. By the way, I'm not like shit. You banging the drum. I'm just saying.
They look at Dobben, won't they, and go, "Yo,
he's not good enough."
No, I know, but that's what they look at, won't they? Like I said, Tanguy Koulibaly is one. There's a Drisser as well. He was at Feyenoord. He's a free transfer. He's 27. He's a bit older, but he's another winger. I think he got 7 goals last season. He's a free agent as well.
Yeah.
Both of them could do the job. But it's whether...
What's your opinions on how this has all played out?
No, it's been pathetic, because we've known for a while that the lad was going to leave. Now, the manager, people can go on about, I love his honesty and all that, but he wasn't honest, because he told us the only reason he wasn't with the team was that he wasn't fit. But he was training every day. He wasn't with the team because you didn't want him to be with the team. And I've got no problem with that at all. Really, really haven't. Any problem with Sean Dyche making a decision and going, nah, you're not for me. None whatsoever. Damari Gray, I've said many times, has loads of ability and is so inconsistent. His decision making's not good. He's had an issue at every club he's played at.
Yeah.
You know, apart from Birmingham, but he was a kid. He went to Leicester. He should have got in. He should have been in Leicester's team more regular than he was. And he wasn't. Brendan Rodgers didn't play him all the time. He was sub a lot. He'd had the same under Claude Puel as well. And then he went off to Leverkusen in a strange deal. And then we were able to get him. Weren't we? We were able to get him for $1.5 million. And he was a good signing for Everton. And it's proved that even with the 8, whatever it is that we get for him, $8.5 million or something, we got him for 1.5. So we've had him for 2 seasons. He scored 12 goals for us, and we've made like around a £6-7 million profit on him. So he's done all right for us, and we've got that wage off the bill. But Everton had all the bargaining power a couple of weeks ago. And if you really decide that this player's going, and there's clubs banging on the door, and there was, obviously the Saudi Arabia. I think Al Hilal were the first club who showed an interest, and the fee was rumoured to be 15 to 18 million or something. That was the deal you want to do, obviously. And then he had Crystal Palace and Fulham. Now, I don't think it was the club's fault that he didn't do the first one. I think it was more him because he fancied Fulham and Palace. But you got to conclude those deals as quickly as possible, because as what happened, Fulham got tired of waiting and ended up with Adama Traore.
Yeah.
And so if Everton were definitely going to get rid of him, then they should have done that deal swiftly. They should have done that deal swiftly and moved on from there. So it's frustrating, but especially when we decide he's not going.
And by the way, don't I have absolutely zero issue with him leaving the club. Absolutely zero issue with leaving the club. I don't think he's done enough. I don't think he suits what the manager wants. But I'm just talking about I'm just talking about physical bodies in the squad. We've seen the bench on Saturday. We've seen, every time a player gets injured, now people are going to hold their breath. Earlier today, Jared Brantwaite pulls out the England 21 squad. People immediately like, oh my God. Ultimately, it's a controlled situation. He'll be fine. He'll be involved in the Arsenal game. But it's just that the squad is so thin that you've got to think about. And the manager said this himself, by the way, in the interview yesterday. He said, I want 4 wingers. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting.
There's a couple of free agents. Let's see if they do anything.
Hopefully they get that in. Right, we've got Brad on the line.
Hello?
Hello, Brad.
Hello, Brad.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Mate.
Where are you calling from, mate?
South Dakota.
South Dakota.
Tremendous.
Is that where the big president's heads are?
Yes. It's about... You want to talk about drives and how location of what you guys have got for travel? It is a 6-hour drive west of where I am.
Oh, that's just like going to the shop, isn't it, for some milk for you?
6 hours, not for us.
Big South Dakota.
One end of the country to the other.
Just a short 6-hour drive.
I've always wanted to go there, but like if they're just in the middle of nowhere, aren't they? So it's 6 hours.
It actually is a beautiful drive if you like the landscape, but it's pretty underwhelming. Also, I'm in the state, and I've only been there twice, and it was when I was way young. I have no desire to go back. And the Black Hills itself is beautiful country, but as far as seeing Mount Rushmore,
and also Nicolas Cage found all the gold inside, didn't he? So so,
absolutely.
So that's another reason to go. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely happened.
Well, in case he'd left some, he didn't take it off.
No, but that's another reason. Like, I've been to most of the places he went to in National Treasure 1. So I want to go to the places he went to in National Treasure 2.
Just to be there.
I've been to the little mini Eiffel Tower that he went to in National Treasure 2 in Paris. So I want to. So of course I want to go to Mount Rushmore. Okay. Anyway, Brad,
sorry, you weren't phoning up for a Nick Cage review. So go on, what do you want to say, mate?
Who wouldn't want to talk about Nick Cage, though?
Exactly.
So, just touching briefly on the Gray and Iwobi business. I made the comment in a Reddit thread that it's like a market change. It's a fundamental shift in how we normally did business. Ordinarily, we just let all these players run their contracts down, pay them ridiculous wages, and walk out.
Yeah.
And we've gotten money for 2 people who didn't want to be here. This is excellent business. So it does leave us a little bit short, but I mean, even though he was thoroughly underwhelming in the Doncaster game, it's put up or shut up time for Lewis Dobbin.
Yeah.
You are the squad the squad winger now. Make or break. But with us finally doing good business, and Baz touched on it, I think yesterday. We haven't spent money for 3 years. All of our incomings have been paid for with our outgoings. Yeah. Except we don't have any money to spend. Now, is that part of because we're building this new stadium, or are we actually under financial scrutiny from the Premier League?
Well, the reason we don't have any money is the money dried up essentially the moment Russia invaded Ukraine. I mean, that's just a fact. I mean, I don't even think I have to be careful
It's all
about
the Usmanov deal.
Yeah, I don't even think I have to be careful what I say. Ultimately, even in just one way, because we were getting a lot of money from the USM sponsorship deal, whether it be the sleeve sponsor, whether it be the sponsor that was on the park end, whether it was the USM sponsorship deal for Finch Farm. We were getting it one way or another, and it might even be, we don't have to be stupid. I mean, the women's team, the whole kit was sponsored by, different USM brands, Megaphone, and I think it was Yotta. Like, lots of money was coming in. And that, if they were paying for the women's team, that meant Everton didn't have to pay for the women's team. If we were getting money for USM essentially being placed in front of Finch Farm, lots of money was coming into the club. And then there would be the other money that would be coming in from just the money that Macheri was coming in. That's all dried up now, and that money has not been replaced. It can't be replaced because there's no way of getting that money in. Obviously, because of FFP as well, deals have to be structured properly, and sadly we've lost that money, and that's just fact. You add that into COVID, you add that into the stadium, you add that into a club that isn't generally very profitable. That's just their facts as well. Add that in also to the fact that we've tumbled down the league, so the money we get based on where we finish in the league has drastically been cut as well. And it's like, that's the mad thing about the Premier League. It's like, you lose money, you can't compete. You tumble down the league, you lose more money. So you have less access to money. And your owner can't pump money in even if he had it because of FFP. The whole thing is so weird, the way it's tilted towards.
Weighted to inflate a big club.
I've seen today Chelsea apparently are going to do a sponsorship deal with a Saudi Arabian airline that isn't even running planes yet. And who partly owns Chelsea? Saudi Arabia. It's nuts. The whole thing is weighted against us. So, but a lot of this is our own fault. It is our own fault because of mistakes we've made and because of the way these people run our clubs. So, until we get in a better position, this is where we are.
So it's more or less we're going to be forced to be skint until Mashiri sells up, which he won't do until the stadium is finished.
Yeah, and even with the stadium, people have made out in the last couple of days or put out, the likes of the Eskin thing, and John Blaine said it here on the show. It's like, if we're not careful, the stadium's going to have a high amount of debt against it. So any money it does make will go nowhere because of that debt that needs to be paid. And that's an issue as well. So, I think the only thing he's got really going for him is he has to sell the club, and he can't sell it at the amount he wants to sell it for because it'll have that much debt. I think it was put out yesterday that for Everton to be sort of debt free and everything to be fine, someone would have to pump £1.2 billion into the club. That's obviously with buying the football club as well. That's an incredible amount of money for a club like Everton Football Club. Of course, you will be getting a really nice stadium to go with that money, but that's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. A lot of people who are buying football clubs think that if they're spending $1 billion on a football club, they're getting the finished product. They're getting the finished product. No debt, no issues, decent team. That's 1.2 billion before you start building that football team as well to a position. So I think we're not an attractive football club at the moment unless Mashiri is serious about selling the club and does lower the price.
Well, that's bleak.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Everton just need to be taken over, basically, is what we need.
More or less.
Yeah, well, we do.
Like.
We do. Well, we need them to get better people in to run the club. The problem you've got is we're not bringing in enough money. Our outgoings are too high. So there's your first problem. We've obviously got a cash flow problem. But the thing about it is, the thing why it makes it more difficult for fans is there's no communication of that. They leave the manager to kind of go round the houses with, we know it's difficult, we're in this predicament. Well, someone needs to come out and tell everyone then. Tell the fans. We're saying one thing and doing the other. We're saying we've got no money, yet we're chasing Wilfred Gnonto at £30 million all summer and again on deadline day. Well, if there was no money to buy him, why are we chasing him again on deadline day? It just, none of it adds up, you see.
So what a thought I had earlier in the transfer window of like, I don't know how you can prove to the world that like you've got money or whatever without spending money foolishly. And so I had the thought that I had was, are other clubs for competitive advantage to keep us down structuring deals that are then disadvantageous towards us, where like for example, the whole squabble that Chelsea and Liverpool had over their defensive midfielders were like, oh, well, I'm just going to go put this bid in over here for this guy at this price just to drive the price up over on you. So if we're rumored to be in for somebody, does somebody come in and say, if you want to sell him, we'll give you this money up front because we know Everton can't? Essentially like hosing us.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that goes on. You're always looking for competitive advantage, aren't you? And right now, Everton are competitively disadvantaged. But a lot of it's our own making. But the frustrating thing for me right now, Brad, is despite the fact that we haven't spent any money relatively for 3 seasons, we still don't seem to be any closer to fixing it. And that's the real issue. It's one thing going, listen, we're in a mess, so for the next 2 years we're going to have to scrap our way out of it. But then in 2 years we'll be ready to pop again. Well, here we are, almost 3 years from spending money. Well, there is 3 years, more than 3 years since we last spent money. And yet we're no closer to fixing it. And we can't keep chopping. We keep cutting away and cutting away and cutting away and cutting away. Soon there's nowhere to cut.
Does that make our financial books look sound where like it would be an exciting proposition to somebody that they are like, all you have to do is come in, buy this club, and it's ready to pop because look at how we're structured. Like we're not in the red anymore. See, you can actually spend money. You can come in and do a Newcastle.
Yeah. John Blaine has mentioned this a few times on the show of like, that is a big reason is if you're trying to sell a club or you're trying to get people to invest in a club, you've got to prove that the club is in a good place, and ultimately the books will look a lot better because income has come in. Forget about where that income has come from. I mean, obviously it's players, but the club looks in a lot better place in those books. It doesn't really work in football because that's not really how football works, because it's not about running a club that is debt free. It's about what happens on the pitch, and we have nowhere else to go. I don't think in the next couple of years we don't have, apart from Onana, which has already been sort of talked about as the big one for next summer, it seems. And it almost feels like they're leveraging the likes of Beto on selling him. There's not much else. We don't have enough quality because you cut and you cut and you cut, and you don't have anything left to cut apart from your basic players. And Onana feels like he's the only one. He's the next one, and I think that's why Schmidt was brought in. Almost like you're bringing someone in cheap that you're trying to maybe build up to make money on. But if there's nothing actually happening on the pitch, that really can't continue too long because you're going to go out the league. It's
the club is where it is, and this is the thing that, you know, we all want the club to be run better, and the people at the club obviously want the club to be run better. It is where it is, but we've got to get to a stage where, and you're right, Everton have done all right this in terms of they've done well with Iwobi, they've got money in for him. The problem is, and the frustrating thing is, he was a player who was in our first team all the time, so you're trying to replace that, and we haven't been able to replace that. But the club have done well in getting money for him in. You know, he had 10 months left on a deal. When you're absolutely right, Brad. In the past, he's walked out for nothing, and we've lost. So we've got money in, and we saved his wages as well. So that's a good deal. Damari Gray didn't want to stay. Sean Dyche just come out and done his interview yesterday and said that he didn't want to stay. Or he told the club he had a deal, so they've got money for him, and he's gone out the door as well. And that's all you can do. The frustrating thing from the fans' perspective is we have cut and cut, haven't we? That's the problem. We've cut and cut, and it's at what point does this change? And no one's really talking to us, and I guess the club can't talk to us, as in the club, the people at the club, because they don't. Yeah. They mightn't have approval to be able to speak about it. They might not know themselves. So this isn't on the club really. It's on the board. And with that is obviously the majority shareholder. See, maybe we do have to.
I guess it kind of brings me on to like the next thing I was going to talk about, because nobody can talk about anything because the guy that owns the club, his mood and opinion changes as often as the wind. And so with like the next two fixtures being Arsenal and Brentford, very tough fixtures, like could very well lose those two games. And then we're like, he could sack the manager. Now, I'm not advocating for the sacking of Deitch. I think that like he's not the root of the problem. The root of the problem is at the top. We all understand that. But and Ped talks about like Deitch is the guy you bring in after you sack your manager. So who would you bring in? And the thought that I had, and again, I'm not advocating for it. I'm not trying to say that this is what's going to happen. I don't want to be doom and gloom, even though everything we've talked about has been doom and gloom. But is there any possibility that you think we could get the guy that walked out of Wolves to come in? Because remember, he came in when they were bottom of the table and they promptly beat us and then steered them to safety, but then just walked out because they like the promises they made him obviously weren't kept, and he just didn't want to go down with the ship, because I think the Wolves are very much, I think, going down this season, but who knows?
If he couldn't put up with Wolves, I don't think he'd put up with Everton.
Okay, that's basically.
I really don't. I just don't. I don't think. I
think he wants more freedom, wouldn't he? It's very difficult right now with our finances, and Wolves are finding exactly the same thing, aren't they? And there's another couple of clubs as well. So therefore, he'd be jumping out the frying pan and into the fire, wouldn't he? Because we're not going to have that money unless we. It'll improve at the new ground, obviously, because there'll be increased income, and the challenge for the people at Everton will be to bring in more income while reducing costs, because that's what you have to do. But there's just too much uncertainty, and I think that's not good either. So Farhad Moshiri needs to, if he's looking for this investment, he needs to try to tie that up quickly. There are other people out there who want to buy football clubs. Are Everton an attractive proposition? Well, no and yes. No if you talk about debt or whatever, but if you're saying Manchester United, they want 10 billion for them, then I don't know where that 1.2 billion comes from for Everton. I think that's a massive overestimation.
That's debt and what he wants.
What debt?
There's debt. There's debt, of course.
What debt? There's not 500 million pounds.
Well, no,
debt. The fella wants 600 million.
There's the debt that on Moshiri. There's the debt.
Moshiri spent 158 million.
Everton owe Moshiri money.
But he's converted it to shares.
There's money Everton owe to him money, and obviously there's the rights and the money that the debt.
150 million.
The money that stopped us bringing in MSP as well.
Well, that was just because they didn't want them to have too much power.
No, I know, but it's still a debt.
Yeah, well,
it still needs to be paid
stuff
back.
That's being paid, of course, but I don't think it's 1.2 billion. Well, maybe it is, but even if it was, which I don't agree with, but if it was, you're getting a Premier League club with a brand new stadium. Said this before. For that amount of money,
I think we're looking through blue tinted glasses, though, aren't we? I think
maybe
from an outside point of view, if I had that kind of money and I would
if
I had no affinity to Evan, I wouldn't spend it.
The way that like things are trending, like broadcast deals, every time they get renegotiated, it's more money. Any team that can stay in the Premier League or get in the Premier League, like that's got to be that's worth a ton of money. And all these people that have that amount of money don't like to lose money. So I can understand where like the 1.2 billion comes from. He wants to be paid back for his debt, plus he wants to turn a profit, because who wants to like have on their CV like, oh yeah, I lost this amount of money over here, because to them they see it as a loss, even though it's not realized income.
I think the other thing is, though, especially with new owners, I think they're all chasing Champions League, aren't they? As much as anything. I think it's great to be. I think it's great to be in the Premier League, but I think a lot of these people want Champions League teams. They want to be at the very, very top table, and sadly, that's obviously not where we are at the moment. So, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, isn't it, for the time being? But going back to something like what Baz said before, you want to feel like you're actually competing and things are actually starting to get better. Whereas for us at the moment, it just feels like we are treading water, and we're treading water in a very dangerous area surrounded by sharks. So we just want it'd be just really nice. And I think this is what the MSP deal would have done for us, would have put us in a nice place where it felt like we were starting to get away from that position, where at the moment we're getting the sharks and they've all got 777 written on them, which is not a nice place to be.
No. But just quickly at the end, like you said, Ped, I wasn't able to get a Brentford ticket. Evidently, the dude that runs the supporter club said they're like impossible to come by. But I did get a ticket to the Luton game.
Cool.
So super excited about that.
Good stuff, Brad. Good stuff. Give us a shout when you get over here, mate.
Yeah, that'll be a better one. We'll beat them.
Yeah. Cheers, Brad.
Cheers.
Cheers, Brad. Top man. See you later.
Right, have we got Astro?
Yeah.
Let's get Astro on.
Can you hear him?
Nope.
Can't hear anything.
Come on.
He's left. Yeah,
Has he left?
Okay.
Has he gone?
Yeah, he's left.
Sound.
Disconnected.
Okay. Good stuff.
Is he back? Did he say? No. Okay.
He's been put off by your shoes.
All right. That's tremendous.
He's back.
He's back.
He's back.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Can you hear him?
No.
No.
Can you hear him now?
Sort of.
No.
I can hear something.
Astro, speak.
Astro.
Astro.
Yo, you got me.
Go on, mate.
Whoa.
Go on.
We can hear you.
Oh, good deal, mate. Good deal.
Go on, mate.
No, I just wanted to reach out and catch up with you guys, man. It's been a little bit.
It has. You've been busy, mate. You've been very busy.
Yeah, had a lot going on. Many things. Lots of moving parts. A lot of ifs. A lot of buts. A lot of what have yous. You know. Yeah. No. I just after that call that you just had with Brad, I don't think I got much to say. I just wanted to say hi. See if you'd watched Ahsoka yet today, and you guys pretty much covered everything.
Well, it's nice for you to call us, and you've brought your little frog friend with you as well, which is good.
Is he gone quiet? Is he still there?
He's still there. He's here.
There you are.
Go on, mate.
Give us a little rally call. Come on.
Yeah, you got me.
Yeah. Go on. Give us a rally call. Go on.
Okay. All right. Cool, mate. Well, they ain't no rally call, mate. Like it's just a simple thing. Like I had this. I deal in analogies, right? Basically, Evertonians, we're on an airplane right now, right? And then like half of us are apathetic, and we're just happy to be on the plane ride, and we're just looking out the window at the clouds. Everybody else has realized that we've been in a steady descent, and that.
He's going to say something really, really interesting.
We were there, then we were at.
Oh,
go on, carry on. Everyone else is in the descent.
Yeah, I'm back. No, I'm just saying Evertonians. We're all just standing around yelling at an empty pilot seat right now, right?
Yeah.
The few of us who have realized that something's going wrong, we're all yelling because we see it coming. The math makes terrifying sense. And like I said, half the passengers are just happy to be on a plane ride, and the rest of us know what's coming, because at the end of the day, this is tread. Ped used the example of treading water. Well, dude, I tell you what, we're treading water in shark-filled oceans, and oh, by the way, you just cut off one of our legs because the squad's so thin. So like our ability to tread water is being hampered, and I would love to like call up and be like, hey man, I haven't talked to you guys in a while. I'm all fresh and and everything else, and everything's exciting. Woo! But no, I'm not. I'm real about it. And like I don't see. And Baz, I love the how much respect I have for you and your opinions, mate. And I love the fact that you do try to point towards the positive. But when you talk about the stadium, listen, like if that thing is built on short-term debt that has high interest rate, any positive income that we can generate is going to be strangled out and canceled out, right? So even the stadium is beginning to look less like a saving grace and more like a millstone. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, for me, like you talk about somebody coming in and buying the club. Well, I'm going to tell you something. Somebody that has enough money to buy Everton had enough sense to make that money in the first place, and they didn't make that much money by throwing good money at bad problems. And right now, like, Everton is a problem. Like that the club is actually broken. Have you ever seen 125 marketing people and communications people who've worked so hard to be so silent? I never have, not in the history of the business. And I know a little thing or two about communicating and digital marketing. I'm not a subject matter expert, mind you, but I know my way around the table, know how to use the knife and fork, so to speak. But at the end of the day, you've got no leadership. And at the end of the day, an organization that has no leadership stays chained at the bottom, and a ship that has no rudder is always going to drift off course. So a leaderless and rudderless Everton Football Club is in big trouble. And this isn't a situation where any of us have to be, like, it's not about doom or gloom. It's about pragmatism. It's about what makes sense, and to be optimistic in the face of all of this data. That's just, I don't know. I can't do that. All I can say is that I'm glad that if I'm going to have to be subjected to, such an ordeal, I'm glad I get to do it in the group of fine Evertonians like you guys and others. And I can honestly say that at the end of the day, the club, I was listening to a little Deacon Blue. How about a little dignity, Everton? How about a little dignity? Because the football clubs, they've got some of the most passionate, educated, and informed and switched on supporters in the world. Okay? And you can't even be an honest broker and communicate with them with a little bit of truth. You know what I mean? How about a little dignity? I mean, like, don't you just want to watch a team that has a chance to compete? I mean, like I said, I know you wanted a rally call, and I've just, walked in here and, like a wet blanket, just throwing myself on everything. But, I'm going to be honest with you, man. Like, I woke up, Saturday morning, Astro Jr. and I are watching the Sheffield United match, and he looked at me and said, Daddy, why are they defending so narrow? And I said, son, I don't understand. I mean, that's remarkable understanding, tactical acumen for a 3-month-old.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
If you knew he was going to, and if a 3-month-old going to talk early, it's going to be mine. But like I said, he couldn't wrap his head around it, neither could I. But no, I'm sick of being sad about Everton. And you know what, right? We're selling everything. We're selling all the players. I'm waiting on the club to start, pouring out the fan base. I mean, they're going to try to sell us next. I mean, because listen, but we done bought assets, stripped it down. I tell you what, maybe they can sell them. Maybe they can sell those prints from the Crystal Palace match from the canteen. Make a few more bob to keep the lights on. Because listen, and I know, and Jimmy Swaggart knows that all this Anthony Gordon and Alex Iwobi and all that money, it's going to be in the same place as Jimmy Hoffa and the Arteta money, and we ain't never going to see any of that again. And that's just, and to say anything other than that is just to chat absolute wham. And, while I'm good at that, I'm trying not to right now.
I think there's more chance of finding Jimmy Hoffa, if I'm honest, mate.
The thing is, though,
I think you're probably right.
If they need that money to run the club, they need that money to run the club.
That's it. I'm beyond, personally, I'm beyond the stage of, going for an inquest on where the money is, because I think we all know where the money, like you've just said, we know where the money is going. It's going to keep the lights on. Yeah. There's no point. You don't even have to have the argument at that point anymore.
But why? And you hit on this earlier. Why are we in this position? Yeah. And I'm going to say this, right? Like, listen, if you have a football club that is competitive and performs well, okay, then they're going to get on the telly more. And then there's going to be more money for appearances. There's going to be more money for a higher finishing position in the Premier League. And that, in turn, is going to generate more income, because more eyes will equal more shirts bought and everything else. If you're a business person who's looking at a football club that can't make money, you have to start asking yourself some serious questions. Because, my goodness, I mean, like, look at what Wrexham is able to do with their marketing and with their shrewdness and with their story and with their presentation. And you're talking about that team is probably making more money commercially than Everton is. And to me, that's a failure of imagination. It's a failure of process, and it's a failure of a company. And when no changes are made and no one answers the failures to try and even fix the problem, then it's hard for anybody to be optimistic.
Yeah, no, I agree. No, you're right in terms of something had to change and it hasn't changed. They've moved the deck chairs around on the Titanic when it comes to the board, but they haven't brought a new CEO in. You know, Colin Chong.
No, and it's the interim.
Yeah, it's still the interim.
Sorry, I hate to interrupt you, Pat.
Go on, mate. It's okay. Go on. It's your call. Go on.
I was just going to say, like, it stinks. It stinks worse than Astro Junior's diapers, bro. And I'm going to tell you what, that kid's prodigious in his poop production. I'm telling you something. It's staggering. You look at him and you're like, how did something so nasty come out of something so sweet and in such great quantity? I don't tell you what, I appreciate the scientific advancements that have been made in nappies in the last 10 years. Because if this kid had come along a decade ago, I don't know that they had the technology to contain his talents. So anyway,
there you go.
That's another story for another time.
I think that was a better story. I must admit. That was a better story.
It was. By the way, did you watch Ahsoka this morning?
I have not watched Ahsoka. Do not say any more words.
Dude, I'm not saying
Don't say any more.
Else.
I'm
not saying anything else.
Okay. I don't watch shows
you gotta avoid them spoilers.
I don't watch shows in the morning. I get up early and I go run up mountains. That's what I do in the morning.
You know what? Me and Astro Junior watched it this morning over a bottle. You know what I mean? That's how we get up and do it over at the Astro House.
Good
Star
stuff.
Wars and bottles in the morning, brother.
Yeah.
That's how we do it. Toffee TV in the afternoon.
Good.
Great to speak to you. Great to speak to you both. You guys have been. You guys, while I have not been participating, I have been listening and I have been watching.
Lots
and
of people.
Always, I'm grateful.
Lots of people have been asking where you are, and I think you've just revealed where you are. Congratulations to Nick, who had a young son 3 months ago, little Evertonian, and
I knew we were in trouble though. I knew we were in trouble on the first match, right? Fulham match day. He had his colors on, and he gipped up all over that thing before the first ball had even been kicked. And I said, "Uh-oh, that's a bad sign." And then he puked on mine. You know what I'm saying? So like he was gipping and guffing, and you know, it was just it was a harbinger of things to come. So what can you do?
No. Top man, Astro. Top man for giving us a call.
Guys. Good to hear you. Good to speak to you, and I hope everybody does well. Top marks to Jack and Ned and everybody else. You guys are the best.
Cheers,
John,
man.
Keep up the great work, and we'll speak to you soon.
Cheers. Congratulations, mate. Take it easy.
Thanks,
see you later.
See you. Ta-ra, Astro. Ta-ra, mate.
Bye. Make sure to head over to toffeetvefc.com/shop for all our latest designs. You can get them in t-shirts, get them in hoodies. You can even get them in mugs. Don't forget, if you're a Toffee TV Premier member, you get 25% off your orders. So why not go over, join Toffee TV Premier and buy some merch today.
Hello, I am delighted to say we are joined in the studio by an actor, a singer, most importantly, out of the three of those. Well, two of the things are there. The third one is the most important one for me, is a big Evertonian. It is Andrew Gower, who has come in to see us. How are you, mate?
Very, very well. Very hot.
It is, isn't it warm in here, mate?
Costa del Liverpool.
Costa del Studio.
Costa del Studio, it is. Yeah, there's the aircon. There we go. Sponsored by Pro Breeze.
Yeah. You say aircon, it's literally just recycling.
I feel like I've brought that with me from London.
You have.
I have. It's nice. That's
brought that.
Personal.
Is that all right? There you go. Just so you don't overheat.
Yeah.
But you are up from the smoke. That down there, the smoke. What are you up here for?
So tomorrow night, my band Gustafsson, which are these guys here, we have
hold it up again for us, because there's a nice camera there. There's no one there for
Fantastic. So Gustafsson.
Yeah.
We are at the Cavern tomorrow night, headlining our second ever Liverpool gig. And that is basically, we are headlining the Cavern tomorrow. We're screening a short film by Toby Jones, which is directed by Jonathan Shea, the entertainer. we're gigging. Then we've got guests like Martha Goddard and Iris Holmes and Girls Don't Sink DJ G33. So it's like a whole variety night. It's our first gig back in Liverpool, and yeah, just excited to play the Cavern. It's like the biggest bucket list venue I've been looking forward to play for a long time, mate, and I'm buzzing, absolutely buzzing.
That is amazing, isn't it? The Cavern, when you think of the history and everything else that goes with that. Synonymous, obviously, with the Beatles, which is the greatest band ever, probably, in my opinion. That's tremendous, isn't it? And what is it like? What is the feeling? Is it the excitement before a big cup match, that kind of thing? Yeah. What is it like?
Tomorrow morning when I wake up, it'll be more Manuka honey and throw comfort tea bags. Yeah. But it's great because I think that what we're trying to do as a band, like people will pay £10 a ticket, but what we want to do is like put on like a variety show of old with a film, some spoken word and like music that we like. So I'm just looking forward to kind of giving everybody a night at the Cavern that they remember. And also as a band, as soon as we started making music again with the Elbow lads, like a year ago, it's like only a year ago today, basically, we were in the studio making this. That was a venue that if you'd have told me like a year later we were going to be at the Cavern, I'd have bitten your hand off, basically. Like, it's incredible to be there. So
how have you got into this? Well, obviously you are acting as well, so how come this has come back round as well? I know you're keeping your hand in with a few things there. Have you still got dreams of playing for Everton? Is that still in there as well?
In there,
you've got to keep it, mate.
Still in there, honestly.
You've got no grey hair yet, so you're all right. So Ashley Young's 38 and he's playing.
Mate.
So
that
is that giving you hope?
Yeah, that Ashley Young signing, I think, gave... Besides his age, I think it just gave so many Evertonians hope that the dream isn't over.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, I think, apart from the aspirations, the delusional aspirations of playing for Everton, the music, that was, I think I chatted to you guys about an indie film I did called Running Naked about, when was it, 3 years ago now? And on the set, the Elbow guys, Craig Potter, did the music for the film.
Okay.
So I met Craig. He came into a car park in Stoke and we had a conversation about music. I told him I was writing some music. He listened to a few acoustic tracks and then basically told me that he wants to produce our first EP, which when Elbow come calling, you don't say no, basically. And then, the next year we had our 4-track EP, The Jacaranda. We recorded that in their studio, which is Blueprint Studios, like the best month of my life. Incredible. And I think it just came from, as an actor, you kind of you can sign up to big shows, American shows where you're on and they're fantastic, but you're playing a character and you as amazing as the shows I've been on, like the Outlanders, the Carnival Rows, the Black Mirrors, you are kind of, you're a victim of the edit, right? You hand over stuff and you don't have much agency over that. And that's liberating as well, but it goes to, goes to the director, it goes to the company, it goes to the actual editor in the studio, many jobs I've been on the cutting room floor, all of that stuff. So I think in a sense, it's like this music for the first time in the 12 years I've been acting, it's the kind of the first agency I've had. Right. And it was something during COVID, especially, that I was like, do you know what, I want to leave something behind as dramatic or corny as that sounds. Like, this is all my words, it's all my lyrics, it's it's music that I'm really passionate about, stories about Liverpool, stories about like growing up, and to do that with the Elbow guys is just like terrific.
Absolutely buzzing with it all. You've just recorded a song, haven't you, which you were telling me where the venue, rather, obviously the song, we're talking about an album, of course, but what you were just telling me about the Liverpool Empire. So what was that all about then? Because again, your face lit up when you were talking about that.
Yeah, incredible. Like, I mean, so it's at the Liverpool Empire. We've been doing, so before the potential album next year, we've been recording live singles. Right. One of them we did in the Elbow studio, which was Northern Baby, but our one that came out a couple of weeks ago was Champagne Socialist, and we did it, just happened to do it on
Gary Neville. I thought that's what he's called, isn't he? A lot of people call him
the
that.
Champagne Socialist.
Yeah,
in fact, you know what, if we ever do an actual music video, proper music video,
get him in.
We'll get just Gary, a close up and a day in the life of Gary Neville. Champagne Socialist, in his hotel.
Yeah.
No, we recorded that live on the Liverpool Empire stage, which was like, I mean, and the history, like I'm obsessed with, I think I've sent the music video over to you guys, but like the way we shot it was kind of Birdman-esque. We worked with this amazing director called Sam Fontaine, who, again, just the two worlds colliding of film and TV and music. Like, we got him involved to shoot the video, and it's shot like kind of inspired by Birdman, because the history of that theatre for me, like if that theatre could talk, like, you know, not just the Beatles, you're talking Rolling Stones, Chuck Berry, Tommy Cooper, you know, it's, yeah, so it's kind of
Will Young. There's lots of, you know, people like Will
Paul O'Grady,
exactly,
like, God rest him. Yeah, you know, it's that theatre itself, and it's synonymous for me of like pantomimes when I was a kid. I used to go.
Mr. T. You know, he was there.
If those
Bradley Walsh. You know, they've all had to go there.
They've all had to go.
Don't worry about that.
Jason Walsh sang on that stage.
He sang, mate. He was wishy-washy in a pantomime I went to see when, I can't remember, with the family many moons ago.
How was his performance? Wishy-washy, was it?
He was all right, you know, cracking jokes. This was long before he was leading the chase and things like that. That was in his younger days. But
if we only knew.
Exactly. Back then.
He was anybody's. But yeah, but that theatre itself, as you know, just again, just to tick off the Cavern and tick off the Empire, because it's like the whole sound. It was like a one take sound, like one take track, and it's all shot in one take as well. So like amazing work to our team, and just kind of gives everybody an idea of, beyond the EP that we brought out last year, kind of the stuff we'll be looking to put on the album. And it is like that. I'm obsessed with that, like live feeling of a space, and the sound of the theatre, and the sound of the crackles of the theatre.
Okay, yeah.
So it's like proper, you know, it's got that
atmospheric.
It's got that atmosphere to it. It's in black and white as well, which everything looks better in black and white. Even you know, this interview would look better in black.
Do you think?
And white. Well, for me anyway.
Well, we wouldn't be as red.
No,
and hot, obviously.
That beads of sweat. Yeah.
I mean, what is it with is this like, how much of your time is this taking up? Is it not interfering with your actor, but you know what I mean? If I asked you which your priority out the two, or can't you split it? Would it be 50-50, or is it still weighted more in your acting, but this is more like hobbyish?
It's a good question. I mean, it's definitely, if I'm honest with you, mate, it's gone above and beyond. Like, as soon as we brought the Jacaranda out last year, I was like, you know, that's surpassed expectations.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know, we're still unsigned. We're still an unsigned band, which is remarkable that we're doing a lot of this on ourselves. But it's, I mean, next year's kind of already planned out for Gustafsson, so it's just a lovely thing to do alongside the acting. And I think actually, weirdly, they kind of complement each other. Like, we've already got a couple of our tracks from this EP into the TV world, so they're going to use them on some TV shows, like and like we're collaborating with film directors for like music videos and stuff. So in a sense, it's like they kind of help each other. I think it makes me, in a weird way, appreciate acting even more, because, you know, I think sometimes, as we all do, probably similar with you guys in the studio, like you forget how far you like, we don't do that as humans. No. We don't really check in, and nobody walks home and goes, "Darling, I'm home, Mr. Success," right? You kind of already, we all kind of live on our failures, all the no's we get. So, and especially as, like, you know, as an actor, I'm constantly shaping my career on the no's. I was just talking to you guys about that on the couch. Like, they've shaped my careers as opposed to like the successes, right? Yeah. And that's the same. So the music and the acting, I think it kind of makes me appreciate how far for the 12 years I've been grafting as an actor. You know, and they do help each other out, I think. Yeah. And
is there any way you can get into these films as well with your music tracks in the background?
Oh, mate,
as it gets all networking.
No, it is. I mean, this is the thing. Well, so
like, you know, as you're there singing, you know, I'm an actor.
We had a gig in the Lexington in London, which was our first London gig, and we're back at the 100 Club in November. And our first Lexington gig, it was mad because I just had a load of people from a couple of jobs I'd been on, and the directors came down, and instantly the directors are right, we want that track for this new TV show. So it can help, you know. And I think you've got like music supervisors who come and watch stuff, and I mean, that's the dream.
Yeah.
Like, we as a band, our pianist writes film music, so I think that's kind of the way I want to merge the two together.
Right,
and I think knowing the world is helping, like what we write can already be like, hey, I've just signed up to this TV show. By the way, if you need your music, and your drains fixing, give me a call.
I can do it all.
Yeah, I put up shelves as well if you
Can
need
you
it.
be like, I'm going to forget the fella's name, the one who wrote Hamilton, the musical.
Oh, what's his name? Lin-Manuel.
Can you be like him? You know, write something that all the music for it, and because he's the main actor in it.
He is the main actor. I haven't written the Andy.
I
haven't written the Andy Gower musical yet, but you know.
Listen, but he didn't write that. He wrote about Hamilton, so you just got to get a character.
No, that's
then
true.
write it.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
That'll give you the project there, Andrew, for in the future.
You know what? Give us 10 years. So when Everton have won the title,
oh my God,
and we're in our stadium.
What title?
Any the
title.
Inter-Toto Cup.
Any title.
There's the modern day Dennis Waterman.
Yeah, very. Sitting here looking at him, I was thinking, I can see it. I will be so good.
That little Britain sketch. I can write the theme tune, sing the theme tune. Yeah.
Absolutely class. Talking of your acting, and obviously Gustafsson going really well, which is brilliant. You've got your gig tomorrow, which is Thursday. If you're watching this on Thursday, it will be tonight. Thursday at the Cavern. What time?
7 p.m. doors open, and it's going to be on until about 10:30.
Excellent, like a variety night.
Variety night with a film. Toby Jones, who's the voice of Dobby, is in everything. You know, incredible actor.
Yeah,
he's Jonathan Shea, the director of his film The Entertainers, given us the permission to screen the film. So that's going to be on, and then loads of other acts, and then finishing with a bit of Gustafsson, mate.
Gustafsson, nice.
Gustafsson.
Sounds brilliant. So on top of that, where are you up to with your acting? And we have just touched on it there. So what have you got to tell us? What are you in? What can you talk about?
What can I talk about? Yeah, amidst the acting strike. So I'm finishing off on BBC's second series of Sherwood, which was a hit first series, BAFTA winning first series, written by amazing James Graham, an incredible cast.
Good fun.
Brilliant and nice. I think I spoke to you guys, like a lot of my past jobs as an actor have either been out the country or, you know, in the States, or I spent a lot of time in Prague and stuff. So it's so nice to be back in the north. Still haven't filmed in Liverpool ever, but in Manchester, so nice to be like close. And my brother lives in Manchester, so it's nice to see him. So yeah, great and amazing scripts, and cast is fantastic. So great to be on that, mate. Yeah,
brilliant.
And then Winter King, which is coming to ITV. Actually, it's out in the States at the moment. Which was, I think it was released last week, the first 2 episodes. So that's out on ITV in December. It's like a co-pro. And yeah, that's by the writer of The Last Kingdom, Bernard Cornwell, and the Otto Bathurst, who did the pilot of Peaky Blinders. He's directed it. Incredible director. And it's like a retelling of Arthur, the legend of Arthur. Bernard Cornwell's books. I'm playing a villain in it. Can't tell you too much about him, but it's a character, a brilliant character. He's in all of the books, called Sansom. And yeah, we haven't been able to talk about that as much with the strikes, but I can chat about it today. And it's out in December in the UK. So a great series, really great series, great cast. Eddie Marzan's in it, amazing actor, full of like staple of British TV. So yeah, really epic world, mate, and buzzing for people to see it. Yeah, that's
brilliant. So that's where you're up to at the moment.
That's where I'm up to, mate, and hopefully season 2 for that. And yeah, hopefully these strikes pay off for the actors, because it's a crazy time right now for all actors and all artists and stuff.
How difficult is it right now with all that going on for you? Is everything come to a halt because of it? Obviously, with stuff. What I'm trying to say, should you've been doing stuff right now that can't actually continue, or are you in between and waiting for a resolving of this to move forward?
Well, I think the overriding thing for the industry is that the definitely be way more being made right now.
Yeah.
Especially, after COVID, this was the time for stuff to be busy. Yeah. And I think a lot of my mates, and there's a big thing for actors right now. There's a lot of my mates who are, reconsidering acting as like their day job, which is really sad.
Yeah.
Because even, as I just mentioned, The Winter King, that's a co-pro between, the States and the UK. and most British television now gets American money. So with America being on a halt, it has like, you know, the big kind of fall back now is like whatever people are filming, it's British TV. So and that's without American money, which is quite unusual. So as a whole, things are not on hold completely, but you know, everybody's just quite conscious of being in solidarity with everybody because you've got to be, as you know, as with all striking, it's, you know, it's important to, you know, to be taken seriously as a profession and not be used by AI to, you know, to create people's faces for a day's work and use it for the next 2 years. It's crazy. It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, that can't be sad, surely.
Yeah.
Let's finish on a high note. Everton,
and 19th in the table.
There you go. I mean, what have you made so far, Andrew? Obviously, we haven't had a great start to the season. Some injuries. We brought some decent players in the transfer window. I think that's fair to say, and we still haven't seen. Obviously, Jack Harrison, who I think could be a good player for Everton. What have you made of it so far? With the disappointment of not winning a game yet, as we come to this first break.
I think the biggest thing I take out of it is, if I was to leave the poor recruitment and the you know, the kind of joining together of last year and this year, which I think a lot of our fans have to sort of stop ourselves doing that, but it's so hard to do that. I think the biggest thing I will take out of it is, and it's hard to say because you just keep thinking, if we had Beto in the first couple of games, or if we had any centre forward that isn't Neil Maupay, then we'd most probably have 7 points on the table. I like the performances, and I don't want to revert back to, you know, Moyes eras or whatever, but sometimes when Everton get points on the board early on, we kind of falter at Christmas, and I do feel like those performances with the new signings, and hopefully I've just heard Branthwaite's bloody injured today, but like with those new faces coming into the squad, I feel like, you know, we're going to get some justice for the performance if we can keep it, you know, to the same standard. You know, the Arsenal game, which I'm coming to, that fixture of old would be really excited about. I still feel, you know, if we've got a fully fit squad on that day, we can challenge teams in the league. I feel like we're in a better place with the pre-season, with Dyche, with the squad we've got, with an actual centre forward and maybe DCL coming back in. There's a squad there that can compete. It's just the points now, isn't it? That's the thing. Yeah,
I mean, and obviously we've beaten Arsenal, I think 5 of the last 6 years at Goodison, so we have got a good record against them, as good a side as they are. I think you're right, we've obviously squandered points, you know, with Beto. I think we'd be Fulham and Wolves. If we had Dom in either of those games, I think we win. And after this break, Branthwaite apparently is all is precautionary, and it's something that was, apparently someone said it's pre-planned, as if it was an injury he got in pre-season. They're trying to manage it. So Everton, I imagine, they're all right with that.
With Mr. Carsley.
So hopefully, of course, Big Lee will be like, no, you're all right. So therefore, we should have, after the break, McNeil fit, because he wasn't fit at Sheffield United. We should have Jack Harrison back. Dom should be available. The manager's name checked Delhi a couple of times, so he might come into, who knows. We should be in a better position to face Arsenal at Goodison, and it'll be up to the crowd and obviously the manager to get them going again. The tactics, like he did in his first game as Everton manager, of course, we beat Arsenal. And if they could beat Arsenal, I think it'd change the direction of where we are. I think another defeat and you start worrying. But I think, you know, like I just said, we've beat them 5 of the last 6 years at Goodison.
We've got, I mean, it is like, I feel like we're in a better position to just look at the games rather than, I think, you know, we need to remind ourselves as fans to stop thinking we're in the relegation scrap straight away, because ultimately we have a squad, we have a team, I think, in 11 that can on their day beat, as we proved last year, we can beat most teams. You know, we're talking some of the top teams as well. So I think if we get if we match the performance, especially at Goodison, you know, I fancy us picking up points. I do. I don't feel the impending doom. I just think, unfortunately, we've kind of got to block our ears out to all the other noise, which is really hard.
It just feels like because we've had 2 terrible seasons, it does they do feel like they've merged together. I think if we'd have got off to a good start, if we'd have, forget Villa was the right result they deserve, but if we'd have beat Fulham and Wolves like we should have done and to do with Sheffield United, I think we'd all be going, I've got Arsenal, but beat them. But obviously, because we haven't, we're all going, it's Arsenal next.
Completely. Yeah.
And I think if we'd have brought a couple in on deadline day, like a defender and maybe another winger, we'd be a lot happier. But you're absolutely right. If everyone who we've got available is fit when we play Arsenal, I think we've got a better team than we had last season. Okay, people might argue defensively, but I think everyone wants a Branthwaite in. We've got Tarkowski. Certainly in the forward areas. Last year we had Mopai as our centre forward. Now we've got Beto, we've got Dom, we've got Schmidt, who's a young lad. Dan Juma. We've had McNeil, we've got Jack Harrison.
Exactly. My biggest positive, right, regardless of what people think, what they think about his tactics, etc. I think I go to a lot of London games. I went to Palace last year. I went to Fulham, not to even watch Everton. I got tickets to watch, a game of footy.
Yeah.
And I watched Fulham last year, and it was the Spurs game at home, and they were battering Spurs first off. And I just sat and I said, the reason, like the bar Mitrovic and maybe that Pereira last year for them, Pereira, whatever you say, Fulham on paper are quite. They're an average side, below average, but every single player on that pitch knew their job. Yeah. And I think Everton fans need to find some solace in the fact that with Dyche, our team are going to know what they.
Well,
we hope. But I think every Dyche team of old I know, everybody knows their job, right? And I think we underestimate as football fans. Teams naturally pick up points by knowing their plan.
Oh, Andrew, absolutely right.
Like knowing everybody knowing their role, everybody, kind of singing from the same hymn sheet, little pockets of relationships developing between your left back and your left midfielder. Of course, all of those basic things. And that's what for the past however many years of Everton, I just haven't seen that. No. I mean, I sat on the couch a year ago or whatever saying, I think we're one of the technically worst teams in the league. And, I think one of the things that can help us is just knowing organisation and having a few things up our, maybe switching to 2 up top in games and having that in our
the option
to
be able to do it.
Exactly.
No, I think you're right, and fingers crossed you're that.
Fingers crossed.
Start getting some results.
It'd be nice, wouldn't it? It'd be nice. Yeah, it'd be nice. A W on the table, mate. Honestly,
let's get a few. Andrew, absolute pleasure. Thanks for coming in. If, like we've just said, if you're around, you want to go to Cavan tomorrow for a tremendous variety night. 7 o'clock. Thanks, Ned. Wrong one. 7 o'clock at the Cavan. Get down, see Gustafsson and lots of other stuff, as Andrew's already said. So check it out. And the new single, when's that available? It's now
available on everything, Spotify and
all the good music sources. Check it out. There you go. Like I said, big thanks to Andrew, and we'll see him soon.
Make sure to head over to toffeetvefc.com/shop for all our latest designs. You can get them in t-shirts, get them in hoodies. You can even get them in mugs. Don't forget, if you're a Toffee TV Premier member, you get 25% off your orders. So why not go over, join Toffee TV Premier and buy some merch today.
Yo.
See you, mate.
Yo. See you, mate.
Big thank you to Andrew Gower, who, as he said, will be playing in the Cavan tomorrow. First
Trot, man.
Guest we've ever had in who was in Black Mirror.
There you go, yeah.
There you go, do you know what I mean? If other people from Black Mirror would like to come in, that's fine as well, but Andrew is the first person who... and as we mentioned earlier, is friends with Cara Delevingne, who is in Grand Theft Auto 5. Yeah, fine. Thanks, Ned. Thanks for that input.
There you go.
Right, we're doing about 15 more minutes, so if you want to give us a call, what was that dance then? Why were you dancing?
Like a puppet on a string. That was amazing, Ned. You've done
Ned's
some
incredible.
Mad dance.
It's the shoes.
No, you know what it is?
No.
It is the shoes. The shoes are making him dance, but he's realised he's going for a bevo. A bevo tonight. A bevro. He started first. and he's in the pub quiz and he's all excited because he's thinking,
oh, is it
nearly
pub quiz
time?
Pub quiz every Wednesday. I mean, we're missing half the team.
Do you know all he had to say then was, yeah, it's pub quiz Wednesday.
Yeah.
Why did he have to qualify with pub quiz every Wednesday? Pub quiz Wednesday. That's it. All he had to say was, yeah. But you've got a good, you're doing well, though. You've got a good record.
Important member, I'd say.
I didn't say you weren't. I just said you've got a good record lately, haven't you? You've done quite well.
It's very unlikely that. Well, it's very rare, and it's a bit. It's not like there's only 6 teams.
Yeah,
like 30 teams every week. And we all consistently get top 3.
Champions League places every week.
We finished 4th last week.
Is right? Fair play to you.
You've just said we consistently get top 3, and then we finished 4th last week.
Yeah, consistently.
Why don't you just say top 4?
Last week was an anomaly.
Yeah, fair play.
Okay. Fair. I was bigging you up, saying you've done quite well, but I wasn't like being facetious or anything like that.
Because I know more random things than things that people should know. Except for the music round, I always get every single.
Who does Cara Delevingne play in Grand Theft Auto 5?
She's a radio presenter on Los Santos Rock Radio.
Yeah, that's because I told you that.
No, you never.
I did. I've told you that many times.
No, you never. I know more Grand Theft Auto things than you.
She does. She plays the English radio DJ on Grand Theft Auto 5. For those asking, so there you go. What a place to be. What a place to be. Yeah, no footy this week. Heaven, absolute. We've just been talking before in studio about last year when people were like, when the World Cup finished, and they were like, can't wait to get back to Goodison, because Ned was reading out the fixtures before that happened in December. We were just like.
Too many games.
Too many games. There's just too many games.
There just needs to be like a winter break. She'll finish on like the 20th to like the 6th of
Germany.
Yeah, it literally should just finish, so we all can just have Christmas and it's chill.
Kane's living the dream.
He's away, is he?
Well, he's in Germany, isn't he? So, Kane.
Oh, he meant Kane.
No.
Harry Kane. Yeah, he's living the dream.
Patrick Kane.
Yeah. He's having he's Christmas and everything.
Finish and come back.
Come back and just chill out.
Yeah.
He'll probably go to Spurs match on Boxing Day, won't he? But yeah, be great not to. Wouldn't it be lovely just to finish like the week before Christmas and then
I've never seen.
Jan the 6th at restart.
I can't wait to see everyone on Boxing Day. Why? Play Man City will get battered.
No, it's just that break, isn't it?
Yeah.
You just want to hope there's 18 foot of snow and the games are all off.
I do.
For a few days.
I do.
That'd be great. Absolutely spiffing.
GTE says in the comments, the new stadium looking mad now, lads. How's it looking mad? Is it like...
No, it is. It's looking brilliant. It's looking
like
really nice. Really nice. But yeah.
It's almost like a proper stadium, isn't it? It's like got a little bit to do on the west stand, on the roof, just a little bit. I think it's one more lift, and then they have to plug in the 2 sides. On the other side, I think it's 3 lifts, and they have to plug in, and then they have to do all the extensions as well. How it extends out. There's a little bit to do on the south roof, and then there's the terracing, and then there's the terracing's done on the north. Terracing starts on the south. The terracing on the east and west hasn't started yet because they need the access to those 2 roofs. So obviously they've got to go as far as they can. But come October, November time, that'll all be done. And the work will start going on the inside. But it does. It's weird how it does look like a proper stadium now. It really does look like a proper stadium.
Yeah, it's tremendous.
And I think they're going to start work. I think looks like they're starting work on the steps on the outside.
Brilliant.
Which is weird because for ages I was like, I couldn't really visualize those steps. But if you look, there's like a white line that goes down the side of the building. And obviously it's getting built, and then the steps are just like almost just get built onto it.
Interesting. Interesting. Where are you seeing this on? Mr. Drones it, or on Barry's, or on Mr. Everton, or
yeah, just a bit of everything.
Anything.
Bit of everything.
I don't watch them. I was just asking.
Bit of everything.
Yeah, fair play.
Keep me ear to the ground.
Yeah. No, it's fair enough. I was just asking. I don't watch them, you see. So
maybe you should.
No.
Maybe you should.
I'll see it when it's done.
Well, you don't.
Well, not if we're not a football club anymore, no.
Monster Truck Arena.
Monster Truck Arena.
Monster Truck Arena. Bit of Taylor Swift.
Why
Everyone's
not?
a winner.
Just a winner.
Everyone's
Chicken
a winner.
Dinner.
Yeah. Everyone's a winner. Deal. What are you? Why are you
dancing
dabbing?
again? You are definitely.
Dabbing.
If someone just
Why are you
messes you,
dabbing?
have you got the horn? Is someone meeting up? You're on a promise or what?
Why would I dab?
I don't know. Why would you sit there dancing? There's no music, so dabbing isn't that far reach from dancing when there's no music. You just sat there. You could be doing anything. Now you're holding your hands above your head and
Because I'm hot.
staring.
The Blues says, I used to hate the international breaks, but now it's a nice break from Everton, except the players getting injured part of internationals.
Yeah.
I agree.
I know. I think I did back in the day when we were good. Because you get in momentum mode, don't you, when you're winning games or whatever, and you're thinking, playing well here, don't really want this break. Now it's just like, no footy, great.
Happy days.
Oh, it is, isn't it? Because we're just not good at the moment, so you need that little reset almost to just go. When we come back against Arsenal, it'll be like game on again. Like, can we pick this next phase up?
Game on.
But because we've got 4 league games when we come back before the break, and then we've got the derby, haven't we? Which is great.
Great.
So we've got Arsenal home, Brentford away, and Luton and Bournemouth at home. So 3 of the next 4 at Goodison. Really got to be taking at least 7 points from the next 3 games at Goodison.
Yeah.
And obviously Brentford away could be hit and miss, couldn't it? Could get something there, but quite easily be battered there. So
Absolutely.
gotta use this break for the manager to reset and get the structure of the team right, and from there take it forward. But like we say, we'll have players back as well, Jack Harrison, people like that back. Dom, Shames will be a bit closer and things like that. So the Blues says, I love the way Ned says things like, why would I do? As if we know why he does anything that he does. I mean, that is such a great take on it. Ned's brain is truly unique. It is.
The Clay Shack says, I walked over the Runcorn Bridge today and saw a massive seagull that would batter Ned.
Absolutely.
I'm sick of this.
I didn't even see the size of the seagull, but I know it will batter Ned.
I might just go offer a random seagull out and just to video it just to prove.
Hang on,
I would never harm an
just
animal.
video you walking up to a seagull going, do you want some, lad? It would have for you, mate.
I'd say this is for you, this is for your own good.
For your own good.
I'm sick of people thinking that a seagull would batter me.
I think
it would, though.
It would batter,
And I don't even know.
I'm like a rage lunatic.
Right, I don't even know why. You want to front it with a seagull? I've still never got to the bottom
I
of
like
it.
them. They're all right.
You keep saying you'd batter a seagull, but why?
You got magpie beef.
No, I wouldn't harm a magpie because
So that's
Check your eyes out,
I
magpies.
think they're knobheads.
Check your eyes out.
She's a bird that would have you off.
Wasps, I have a problem with.
Wasps, magpie.
Would you batter a wasp?
Yeah, because wasps always start fights for no reason.
What if 3 of them come at you at once? You reckon you could batter them
Yeah, it's
without getting a sting in the way?
like that.
No, because why are you going for one? The others will just
I love the fact
No.
shake at you.
when he does his shadow boxing, he makes noises.
Mm.
It's amazing. What's that?
He's
That's a
been
double-
watching
that's a double punch.
Steven Seagal.
You've literally
Say there's
Yeah.
3 wasps.
Yeah,
you just broke the
I mean,
light.
you broke the light, but that's fair
I
play.
don't know.
Fair play.
It's like they're out at once.
Oh
One swift move.
James says, when's Harrison back? After the international break. Sean Wells says, Bruce Wayne is a billionaire. Would he buy Everton then take on the crime world of Liverpool?
No, because he is one billionaire and the only one who has gone bankrupt.
Okay.
Did he go bankrupt?
Yeah,
I don't think he did.
he did.
No, I don't think he did.
He did.
I don't think he did.
He got his fingerprint stolen.
That's not going
He
bankrupt.
shut his electric off.
That's not going bankrupt.
He went skint.
I don't think you want someone took his money. They're not the same thing, and it's clear by the end of that film that he still had money.
Oh yeah, because he bought. Oh, yeah.
Okay. The Blues says,
Still
oh
no.
no, he's off on one again.
Yeah.
Eugene says Simon Jordan unleashes on Damari Gray after Everton's transfer development.
I don't care. Simon Jordan.
The Clay Shack said it would have battered you, Ned, and taking your chips.
It
Yeah.
wouldn't.
Well, can we do this thing then where you have to walk down Landudno pier or front with chips in hand to see how if you can
If
survive.
you take me to Llandudno,
Yeah, I'll take you.
buy my chips, then yeah.
I reckon.
Hang on, so you
if
were-
there's a nice day,
Yeah.
like, no, let's plan this. If there's a nice day, like in a few weeks, right, we'll look for a day in the midweek.
Why are you trying to ruin my birthday?
And if it's nice, right, we'll go to Llandudno. I'll drive us to Llandudno, and we'll get him some chips.
Well, it's not like he'd drive his own car.
No, he
there, is
wouldn't
it?
drive, would he? It costs money.
You know what we should do instead?
No, you.
Hang on, let's say what I would like to hear what he
Go
says.
on then. It'll be Chester
Make,
Zoo.
make an actual day of it.
Yeah.
Well, we would
Go
do
to somewhere
because
else
it's
where
like
the
2 hours away.
So we could go to Blackpool Pleasure Beach, have a team meeting
No.
on the
We're
rides,
not going
No.
to
and
Blackpool.
then fight seagulls.
We're not going to
No.
Blackpool.
Well, where else is the seagulls?
Llandudno, we told you.
No, that's where the king of the seagulls
I mean,
live.
they've got a big McPartland, but that's about it.
Got a McDonald's there as well, and you can get chips. The challenge is there.
No, because the
I'll
seagulls
take you
don't
to the
want
Ganwy.
chips. The seagulls.
We'll walk around the Great Gum.
You're getting a fish and chips.
Ned,
I don't like fish.
Celtic Vape says, would Ned batter a cod? No, I think the cod would have him off.
Do you know what?
Phil East said the seagull would smash him. They do wing chun.
Do you know what? Like a real alive tuna is meant to be like a proper grog.
Yeah, because they're huge.
Yeah, tuna fish
They're
are huge.
I'd struggle against one of them.
Wormy says a seagull would well have Ned off. And Sambo said, I seen a 2-legged cat that had batter Ned.
It's nonsense.
What were the dimensions of his leg of the?
Chris Shoebank
which
in
legs
name and
did it
nature.
That's what I'm saying. If it was like the
Is it
left,
like that?
the left back one and the front right one, or because it was the front two, that would be rubbish, wouldn't it?
If it was the two left ones, it'd be so unbalanced.
Dodie, I've got an issue with Dodie Ben Abbott. And the only issue I've got is he's not Scouse. But I get what you're saying. He's put the Scouse Carl Pilkington. He's the St. Helens Carl Pilkington. But I get what you're saying. So there you go.
Scouts.
Rob says buy a leather shoes. That's very good. RC says Ned versus videos. Ned versus Seagull. Yeah, Ned versus Cat, RC says. Sounds like fear to me. We've established it. Yeah, it'll be amazing. Chris says we've established this. Ned is a Hufflepuff. He'll lose to a seagull.
Get out. Hufflepuff.
It would
I'm
be
an
amazing
alpha
to
male.
do this. Imagine it just getting off for the day.
If I was a Hufflepuff,
Do some filming in Llandudno.
In the comments.
I don't know what we'd be filming, but do that and then do the Ned challenge in Llandudno.
It would be incredible. We could go on that. There's like a speedboat that takes you around the bay.
I don't want to do that.
What
We take
happens?
him on that,
If
Matthew.
what happens if yous get
You
attacked
know
by
what we could do?
seagulls,
Well, we won't
We will
because
be
it's
old.
you. We'll be filming it. But it would be good to do it. We could stop at Press that and have a game Crazy Golf as well if you really want to. Mini
Oh,
golf.
I love
Would you like
Crazy
that?
Golf,
Would
yeah.
you like that? Would you?
Well, I wanted just to play Crazy Golf with me in Minnesota, and you wouldn't.
No, because we were.
We'd literally just eaten and he had COVID plus.
I wasn't asking
Not
you
just
to go on.
COVID.
And there was mystery drinks.
Yeah.
Why you didn't have a mystery drink?
And there
No,
was
but-
bloody RPGs.
RPGs.
MPGs.
NPG. I'm gonna
There was
say
RPGs as well. Role playing. Ned was fully in it. Brian Boyle says Ned v Seagull will be a Toffee TV show. Yeah. And the Blues says documentary on Ned's limit on how many Llandudno seagulls or Llandudno seagulls he could take. Yeah. Absolutely.
If you had to have a YouTube boxing match, who's the biggest YouTuber you think you'd be able to take on?
You. Toffee TV does Crazy Golf, as he says. I reckon it'd be good, you know. It's all right, the one in Preston. It's quite good.
What a day.
You not think that'd be a good day?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a massive Crazy Golf fan. I must have. I think
But it'd just be us three having a
find it
laugh.
quite boring. I
Yeah, but
just
you'd
find
be
it quite
playing
boring.
with me.
Find it quite. Oh, let's put a ball in the windmill.
No, the idea is not to put the ball in the windmill.
You
To go
say that.
through the windmill.
Well, that's putting it in the windmill, isn't it? Going through and putting it in the vocabulary at the same thing.
Harry Bourne says should never have replaced Bobby Brown's shoes with Ronald Schumann.
Anyway,
Joe's asked this 3 times. What's the difference between Jesus and Batman?
very little.
I've got no idea because he
Very
hasn't
little.
given me the answer.
Very little. Both guys who go out at night and fight crime, aren't they?
Yeah.
Jesus just doesn't wear a mask.
No.
He goes, I'm Jesus, and that's the end of it. Where Batman's like, I'll have to wear a mask.
I'll put a mask on, lad. Sophie says, I think we beat Arsenal and draw with Brentford. Win the 2 home games. Very optimistic. Fair play to you. So that's what I want to see.
Positivity is what you
So
need.
so you're going for 10 out the next 12 points. I love that, Soph. I hope that is real. RC says, Ned, get your putter out. Nick, get your butter out. Because the seagull's going to smash you in the... So, it's... yeah, we'll see what happens.
Here we go.
RC says Jesus fed the 5,000. But you didn't ask the question, RC, did you? Joe did. Philly says, can you get Molly in to train Ned for the pigeon scrap?
It's a bit above. I think it's a little bit below her pay grade, isn't it?
Do you think a pigeon would have him, though?
Pigeons are...
They're more affable
They're a
than
bit stupid,
seagulls.
aren't they?
Yeah,
They're not
seagulls
really-
are.
Seagulls are
Seagull will go for him.
Yeah.
Seagull will.
Seagulls-
I know a lot about animals, right? So I know exactly what to do in these situations.
Okay.
Fair play to you, Ned.
Fair play.
You're making loads of
You've said it, Joe. I've asked the question. You haven't given us the answer, so it's more fool you. I don't know why, but
Right.
Yeah,
we'll
we're
be
done.
back tomorrow.
we will be
1
back
o'clock
tomorrow. Hang on, will we?
I will.
Yeah, you might.
Toffee TV premiere, 1 o'clock.
Mm.
See you then.